People did call us to help them in this village called Tarapur. They had a bund which was holding sweet water, and that bund broke in 1972 when there was high tide and there was heavy rainfall. It broke and sea water started coming in. Government agencies colluded with a salt pan company and they set up salt pans in this sweet water lake. The area around it, about 1500 meters radius area, became extremely salty. All the agriculture died there. The villagers then went into court and threw out the salt making agency. And then they called us to set up this bund appropriately. Government agencies were impediment in doing right thing. And that is the time when Rajendra Singh ji helped us in removing the adamantness from the government officials. And we could make 39 acres of salty pond into 39 acres of sweet pond. Then, like Dr. Pandey sir said, we work with such kind of streams. Very strong flows, very heavy force, lot of momentum. They can actually break rocks. And those broken rocks then keep on moving such kind of slopes and they come down onto such kind of fast moving streams. These fast moving streams are the streams of Konkan. And in most of the and in most of the high rainfall areas, we have streams which are fast moving like this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Such large streams, when they are held wrongly by landslides or wrongly by check dams or wrongly by culverts or wrongly by bridges, they flood and they cause problems. And we blame that we are allowing our water to go away. Rajendra Singh ji says, महाराष्ट्र के लोग भगवान के लाडले बेटे हो, आपके यहाँ बहुत पानी बरसता है और आप पागल हो, आप उसे छोड़ देते हो. देखो हमने राजस्थान में पानी को कैसे बांध के रखा है. When we try and copy that here in Maharashtra, we end up in problem. We should not do that. For such kind of rivers, we need not hold them. We should allow them to flow, and that is what we learned in Sakharpa. There was water which was causing flood between 1949 to 2020. Why? Because there were wrong culverts made, because there was Amba Ghat made. All the landslide ended up in that river called Kajari. The river, which was so deep and so narrow, became so shallow and so wide. When we undid that, जब हमने पानी को भागने दिया, तब हमारी खेती बची और हमारे गांव बचे. इमेजिन अपने बॉडी में जो ब्लड चल रहा है उसे अगर हम रोक देते हैं तो क्या होगा? गैंग्रीन होगा. जिस अंग को ब्लड फ्लो नहीं मिलता है वो अंग मर जाता है. तो नदी को हमें बहने देना चाहिए जहां ज्यादा बरसात हो. राजस्थान में जरूर पकड़ के रखिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. अभी हम देखेंगे एराटिक रेनफॉल क्यों है और हेलस्टॉर्म्स क्यों इंक्रीज हुए. एक सवाल है आपके लिए. आपके बच्चे के हाथ के ऊपर अगर अच्छा पीने के पानी का एक ड्रॉप गिरा तो आप क्या करोगे? What will you do? पी लोगे, नो टेंशन. अगर फ्रूट जूस का एक ड्रॉप गिर गया तब क्या करोगे? फिर भी पी लेंगे, या तो धो लेंगे थोड़े से पानी से. अगर if you have a concentrated acid falling on your kid's hand, what will you do? You will throw a lot of water on it. That is what are cloudbursts. We fools are burning the land, because of which, if there is a creator, he is throwing a lot of water on us. Right? And what if somebody is throwing away all the water which is supposed to be your kids' water? What will you do? Now, have a look at this map. This is Aral Sea. Between 1960 to 2008, it was drained by engineers. पिछले 200 सालों में थोड़ी सी अंग्रेजी शिक्षा सीखी हुए लोगों ने तालाबों को मार डाला. ये तालाब नहीं है, ये सागर है, अरल सी, मीठे पानी का समुद्र. इस मीठे पानी के समुद्र को मिलने वाली थी दो नदियां, अमू दरिया और सीर दरिया. इन दो दरियाओं के ऊपर बांध बना बनाकर, कैनाल बना बनाकर पानी को यहाँ वहाँ ले गए लोग, क्योंकि उन्हें करनी थी खेती, क्योंकि वो खेती का प्रोड्यूस बेच बेच कर उन्हें अमेरिका से करनी थी लड़ाई. Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, when they were part of United Soviet Socialist Republic Russia, they did this. थोड़ी सी पढ़ाई की हुई, अंग्रेजी पढ़ाई की हुए लोगों ने ये कर दिया है. Too much extraction of groundwater from the ground has caused this bungalow to fall because of a phenomenon called as sinkhole. These sinkholes are happening in the United States. They don't show these to us. They show us Oscar awards. They show us Grammy awards. They show us Hollywood. And like fools, we go behind them. They take our engineers, municipal engineers, to show them how they have laid 1800-kilometer long pipeline to get Colorado water into San Francisco. Foolish. This is not smart. Smart is what your ancestors and my ancestors did in this place. Foolish agriculture. In 1925, the soil was up here. In 1955, the soil was here. In 1977, the soil reached here. This is not erosion. This is called subsidence. If suppose where we are sitting, I drop this, you can see this is dropping. But if I keep dropping this very slowly, 1 micron per hour, you will not be able to notice it. If this entire room slowly went down along with the surroundings, you will not notice it. Because our frame of reference is trees outside. They are still there. So we are in good place. The trees are there. We are in good place. But the whole land is sinking. And this is not Ajit Gokhale's data. This is not Narendra Modi's Andhabhakta data. No. This is United States Department of Agriculture's data. This is happening in India also. These are the ships which were stranded in Aral Lake. This slide should have been earlier. People talk a lot about Israel agriculture, miracle of Israel. They have done great strides in agricultural research. Yes, they did. In plant breeding, plant nutrition. But while they did that, they are killing a lake called Kinneret. Kinneret is written in Hebrew Bible, Old Testament. They say when Kinneret dries will be the day of judgment. In order to prolong that day of judgment, they are now trying to conserve Kinneret. Kinneret is Sea of Galilee. There is a river called Jordan, which moves from the hill to Sea of Galilee. From Sea of Galilee, it goes to the Dead Sea. Now, Dead Sea water level has gone down by 80 feet. Between 1973 to 2006. By now, it must have gone by 20 more feet down. That is because Jordan is not meeting Dead Sea. That is because Sea of Galilee is not overflowing. That is because Jordan is not meeting Sea of Galilee. That is because Israel is doing great agriculture. The heaven on this earth, called United States, has people who have got 3 cancers in one body, 4 cancers in one body, multiple cancers year after year, thanks to so much arsenic and so much damming of water. In 1996, when I was in Ion Exchange India Limited, there were conferences about arsenic in water. They said there is arsenic in water only in 2 places, West Bengal and Bangladesh. Nowhere else we have got so much arsenic. And we must do something to treat that arsenic so that people can drink arsenic-free water. I left the company with this dialogue and discussion. What are you going to do with the medium which absorbs arsenic? A time comes when it becomes useless. You throw it in some place. From there, where will it go? It will come back into the water. So what is the use of a technology which, for the time being, resolves your issue and brings it by making it big? And the other dialogue that we had was, you are only treating arsenic containing water and making it arsenic free for drinking, right? But you are bathing with arsenic water, you are washing your clothes with arsenic water, you are cleaning your utensil with arsenic water. That arsenic is spreading onto the land. Don't pump it out from the ground. And my bosses said, your job is to sell. You think too much. You ask too many questions. Your job is to sell. Keep selling. You will have place in this company. I said, thank you very much. I am not selling it. And I left my company. Now, people are measuring arsenic world over, and you can see there is high arsenic content in the heaven on the earth, in the hells on the earth, everywhere. High risk, moderate risk, low, very low risk, and where you don't see any color, it doesn't mean there is no arsenic. It only means there is no data. कहाँ से आता है इतना arsenic? From where does so much arsenic come in water? And what arsenic does to your body? Arsenic kills by various different interferences in metabolic functions. From where does it come? And I'll show you a modern Shivji. Mythological Shivji had a throat in which he held all the poison that came from the churning of the seas. Nilakanta. This is my Nilakanta. This is called as tailing pond. There are tailing ponds all over the world. Wherever you have got metallurgical industry, wherever you have got power plants, wherever you have got steel plants, you have got tailing ponds. These tailing ponds hold water which cannot be treated by the most advanced technologies in the world. I can vouch for it because I have worked for a very big water treatment company. I am working with many industries where I understand that their wastewater, they ask us to come and treat some wastewater. We treat it. And they say, wow, we have treated wastewater. But I know their underbelly, they are not treating something that is most urgently needed to be treated. That was in United States, this is in India. This is a place called Malanjkhand, where we have got our copper mines. This white thing that you see around are minerals. This blue thing that you see here is extremely poisonous water, Neelakanta. That is poison. We are proud of Tatas. They are good industrialists, businessmen. But their process itself is such that the place which was good agricultural field then becomes mine, and in that mine you need to have a tailing pond. And this is nickel mine tailing pond. And this is iron steel making industries tailing pond. See the way it is growing. 2012, 13, 14. This is growth of economy, which is equivalent to growth of tailing ponds. These tailing ponds also receive rainwater. A time comes when the tailing ponds overflow. A time comes, or there is always a time, when the tailing ponds water have chance to go down into the ground and seep inside the earth. And this is happening all around the world. Shivji in various colors, red, blue, green, जो जिसको चाहिए ले लो. Polytheism है यहाँ पर. Punjab, cotton and wheat fields turned into tailing pond because we want water to run all this show. I mean power to run all this show. This is power plant tailing pond. They keep on shifting the water. अभी यहाँ ज़्यादा था, अभी यहाँ ज़्यादा है. What happens to the water? वो जाता है ज़मीन में. This is Guatemala. Great corporate companies are mining nickel there. And they don't have tailing pond because the ocean is their tailing pond. When Shivji becomes angry, mythology says he does a dance called Tandav, which has a power to destroy the world. When tailing ponds break, Google says, once a tailing pond leaks, it has a major negative impact on the economy. First thing, economy. Second thing, surrounding properties. And third thing, people's lives. पिछली 200 सालों में थोड़ी सी अंग्रेजी शिक्षा सीखे हुए लोगों ने जैसे तालाब मार दिए वैसे प्राधान्य क्रम भी बदल दिए हैं. हमारे गुरुजी कहते हैं शम द्विपदे शम चतुष्पदे. Peace be not to only to prophets, peace be to all bipeds and quadrupeds and everyone around them. Google says economy, properties, and then people's lives. On average, 3 of the world's 3,500 tailing dams fail every year. Statistics. The likelihood of tailing dam failure is several times higher than other conventional water retaining dams because nobody is gaining any economic output from the tailing pond. From all the dams which are holding good water, there is political power that comes with it. I will decide who gets this left bank, left canal water, right canal water. There is political and economic power which comes from the dams. From tailing dams, no political power comes. only poverty comes. And I'll quickly sum up, this is what is happening. People say they will shrink, they don't. They keep on increasing. पहले खुद को सुधारना होगा, पहले खुद को जानना होगा what we are doing as modern people. We are destroying the world by doing things which are beyond our sight, beyond our understanding, because we are part of a very large industrial economic system. We need to understand things in totality and then find out the way out. I do not have solution to this problem of tailing ponds. I do not have solution to problems of heavy metal poisoning that is happening all around the world. There could be solutions somewhere around here or in places which are connected to this energy center which we are in. Thank you.
Would anybody like to ask questions?
I don't have answers.
Just तुम्ही म्हणालात की ponds are man-made. It's true because सगळीकडे तर नदीने पाण्याचे सोर्सेस नाही म्हणून लोकांनी अवेलेबल करण्यासाठी केलं. But at the same time you are telling that they are not marked. At the same time they are तुम्ही म्हणता की त्या गावामध्ये जेवढे तलाव होते त्याचं गणना केली नाही किंवा त्यांच्या
ब्रिटिशों ने करी गणना. ब्रिटिशों ने British government officials tried to count the ponds because they wanted to levy tax on that water usage. They started counting. In 14 days, the collectors of Madras Presidency counted 58,000 ponds. And the governor asked them, is your counting over? They said, no sir, there are many more still there. Governor said, forget it. It is not worth, because there are so many and so diffused, we cannot levy tax on them. So ponds were part of our culture. People made ponds where nobody was living also. Dharma karo. What is dharma? Do things for benefit of those whom you don't even know. Donating something to somebody is one-to-one. You are donating to somebody who is known. Donate to somebody whom you don't even know. That is what dharma karo. So people made ponds, lakes. People built walls next to springs. उत्तराखंड में नवले हैं, चश्मे हैं, वो जो बांध बने हैं ना छोटे छोटे, वो काम के हैं वहाँ पर. ऐसे ही हर जगह पर स्प्रिंग कॉर्डनिंग था. When I started working in villages, we developed this technique called spring cordoning. Made a wall in front of a spring and that gave water for longer time. And a social worker asked me, Doctor, why don't you patentize this? This is your technique. I said, no, I should not, because this is something for welfare of everybody. By making patent and by getting a lot of money out of it, I will become rich probably. Probably people may not give any dime to that patent. And I am sure people must have done this earlier. I am not the smartest person, no. And I went to a place called Pali. There is a Ashtavinayak temple there. I grew up as a child in that village. And I saw, in front of the temple there is a pond. You are facing that pond, on left hand side there is another pond. On left hand side there is another tiny pond. The leftmost is uppermost in level. It is tiniest but uppermost. That is spring cordoning. That overflows and comes into upper pond. That overflows and comes into lower pond. So the spring cordoning has been done, it was practice of people. Unfortunately, or naturally, we didn't write them down. Or probably we wrote them down and that was burned by Alauddin Khilji in Nalanda. Then we thought there is no point in keeping written records, it's useless. Keep practicing it, generation after generation. And that is what we did. Your question was about springs?
Not only,
No.
not only spring, the water bodies. The
Water
water
bodies.
bodies were there.
Yes.
Those were marked in the village map or your shore map also, at the same time by the Britishers also.
Britishers mapped, right.
Britishers also. We are saving the roads. We are increasing the road, widening the roads. But we are decreasing the water.
Ponds, very true.
Streams are there, rivers are there. Is there, means, what is your thought? Means, what is your opinion? Are they
Each and
marked?
every spring of sweet water should be marked. Each and every well should be marked.
No, area also, means of the pond area also.
True.
Because nowadays.
There was big ponds, people are making them small.
Yes.
Yes.
All ponds also are encroaching or encroached up or as well as.
Encroachment is one thing, people are beautifying ponds.
Yes.
Sundarikaran. There is huge pond like this, people will beautify it by putting debris into it and making walls inside. A pond should have such kind of cross section. A river should have such kind of cross section. There are engineers who are experts in river training. By river training they mean they will make concrete walls appropriately so that a river will run through a rectangular cross section. A pond, instead of taking so much space, will become space economic. But such kind of pond is useless. Because if this side is concrete, there is no contact of water and soil. Then that pond, that water body is useless. Everything should be recorded, yes. Policy करायची गरज आहे 100%. कोण करणार मला माहिती नाही.
Exploratory question is, some extremely polluted retention ponds, can we apply algae or
Can we apply
fertilizer
algae?
or similar type of things there? Are there any plans to do it or?
See, to put it in the right way, Kalki has been applied on urban rivers. You know, why we sacrifice urban rivers? कारण त्याच्यामध्ये खूप सारं ह्युमन क्रिएटेड इंडस्ट्रियलाइज पोल्युशन आहे, सुवेज पोल्युशन आहे, ॲज वेल एज केमिकल पोल्युशन आहे. सो आपण दोन जर भाग केले, आय एम स्पीकिंग दिस पर्टिक्युलर विथ द reference of what result we have got in hand, which can be mapped with perspective of the modern science methodology. म्हणजे आता आपल्याकडे मॉडर्न सायन्सच्या पद्धतीने पाण्याला तपासायच्या ज्या काही पद्धती आहेत त्या पद्धतीच्या रेफरन्सनी सांगतोय. आपल्याकडे डॉक्टर जे रेफरन्स सांगतात त्याप्रमाणे देखील पाणी तपासायच्या अजून काही वेगळ्या मेथोडॉलॉजी पूर्वीपासून आलेल्या आहेत, पण मी आता मॉडर्न सायन्सच्या पद्धतीने जातोय. सो दी अर्बन रिव्हर्स ज्याच्यामध्ये ऑर्गॅनिक पोल्युशन आहे, ज्याला सोप्या भाषेमध्ये आपण कंपोस्टेबल म्हणतो, सुवेज झालं, फूड झालं वेगळ्या किंवा रॉ फूड झालं, हे नद्यांमध्ये नाल्यांमध्ये येतं. कल्कीने त्याला आता 100% कंपोस्टिंग केलेलं आहे. सो वी हॅव अचीव्ड दॅट विच इज बिंग प्रूव्ड. नाव कमिंग टू दी सिंथेटिक मटेरियल्स. टू स्टार्ट विथ अंघोळीचा साबण, soap that we use, the detergents we use, okay, so they are now part of our river. So त्यातल्या काही कॉम्पोनंटला, उसमें से जो कुछ कॉम्पोनंट है, so we use few, you know, we say few, but the parallel research is going on and we are going step by step to make the synthetic chemicals which are there in soil, in water, to compost them, to neutralize them. So in simple language, to make the antidotes so that the composting can happen. If you see the history, we'll say it's a roughly 150 years. बरोबर का डॉक्टर? 150 साल का हिस्ट्री है सिंथेटिक केमिकल का. उसके पहले तो नहीं था ना, उसके पहले तो नहीं था, साबुन भी नहीं था, हाँ नेचुरल था, रीठा यूज करते थे हम लोग, या डिटर्जेंट नहीं था. सो कल की क्या है, टू पुट इट, आई टेक दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी रादर.
We will have a separate
Okay.
15-minute session for Kalki.
ठीक.
I have a question for Doctor. Sir, this
We have separate session.
Yeah.
purification is
Specifically
going
for
on.
Kalki.
So what impact will it have? Because a lot of people are, there are diverse thoughts on it. The flooded areas have been completely wiped out, and now they are saying Mulamuta River will have cafeterias and, smart. So what impact will it have on our environment?
The question, madam,
Effect of Mulamuta in this beautification process of Mulamuta.
your name, your name?
My name?
Yes.
Monica.
Monica madam has asked this question, what effect will Mula Mutha riverfront development will have? Mula Mutha rivers were and are to a great extent like this. This is their cross section. The riverfront development aims to make them into straight walled concrete structures, concrete boxes, which will break the contact between the river water, whether it is sewage or dilute sewage or concentrated sewage. The liquid in the river and the soil contact will be broken, which will be extremely ecologically wrong thing to happen. They want water to be held in the river bed, for which in the proposal they have check dams. Because everybody said check dam is a good thing to hold water. They are making check dams to hold water. But those check dams will increase flooding in Pune. What they could do is, they could make removable bunds. During rainy season, keep the thing open, let it go. Post rainy season, nut bolt it. They will have water in the riverbed, yes, possible. But concreting the sides is extremely wrong. Should not be done. It will be bad for ecology of Pune, ecology of water. We might have many different kinds of mosquito and other vector-borne diseases increasing by making riverfront the way it is planned. It should be modified and done. पानी सड़ जाएगा अगर उसे पकड़ के रखेंगे तो. Jokasu. Jokasu is good for individual households. When you come to a large scale, it becomes mechanical sewage treatment plant.
The free flowing entity, they have 3x worth of storage under the
3?
3 times more storage
Yes.
under the unit, which runs around like
Which means 3 days retention time. 3 days retention time is not enough for treating the wastewater. Naturally, if you want to treat wastewater in an open pond, it takes 80 days to do that. River water, when it is running, it has its own ability to purify itself because of tiny bacteria, fungi, all different kinds of tiny life forms which may or may not be visible, and full ecosystems, ecological cycles which run one after the other, and they treat the wastewater. In Ram Nadi, where we applied Kalki last year, we found tremendous decrease in BOD, COD. We found increase in dissolved oxygen. During last 1 year, we did not add lot of Kalki in that stream again, but we added tiny doses, 20 liters per day for only 60 days. And we are seeing the difference. That river is rejuvenating. So if riverfront development has to be done, first we must treat all our nalas which are meeting the river. 100 meter cube per day is flow of one nala, 150 meter cube per day is flow of another nala, 200 meter cubes per day is flow of third nala. These nalas, despite of their sewage treatment plants, are discharging polluted water into the river. We propose here, you apply techniques at your home. You apply techniques at the exit of your gutter. Treat it to maximum extent possible. Mechanical treatment is costly, all right, don't use it. Try and use natural treatment if you have space. If you don't have space, then maybe use something like Kalki, which will treat the wastewater on the go. There are different kinds of treatment systems. Conventional European system is pump and treat. There is wastewater stream going, you set up a pump here, you take it out. Pump, hold it in tanks and treat. What we did there on Ram Nadi is treat the wastewater as it is just running. Why Ram Nadi? Because the stretch in which we worked was 100% sewage. There was no good water there that time. March, April, May. In fact, our experiments happened in May only. In the month of May, all the upper ponds have stopped giving good water into the river. Whatever that you saw in the riverbed was sewage. So we applied that culture there and we found good benefit. In any river, forget just Mula Mutha, in any river we should not do concretization of banks. Thank you.
We will have more questions, but so that we hit the 1 o'clock, we will do the second session, and we have good time in the afternoon. Okay, so वो कैसा है वो serial का last is